Boy, I've had so many wonderful teachers in my life, starting with my father and my first grade teacher who taught me to persist, and I could do anything and I could do it. But over the course of time, as I've always wanted to become a teacher myself, I would say that my own children, and I have two very different children, were probably my greatest teachers. My first daughter, Rebecca, was born with something called Prader-Willi syndrome. And I was a special ed teacher at the time working with autistic children. And as a young teacher, I was good. Everybody thought I was good. But I didn't have that quality of understanding that it's a family dynamic, that a special needs child becomes part of a family, and that you have to really work with an entire family. So when she was born, it was, oh my goodness. I thought I went through all of the beginnings with her of having to get care and find care and get all the specialists, and it was through her that I learned what a family goes through when they have a child who has special needs, but also to understand the intelligence in a child, and that the world would try to limit the intelligence of a child themselves when the child does not have those limits. So I heard a lot of, well, that's just the way they are, you kind of have to accept it, but I knew that she was more than that, and she has turned into this wonderful, delightful person through a lot of work and understanding of how she learned, which was different than many, many people, but it was also her way. And if we taught her her way, she was equally as intelligent as anybody else, and there were no limitations. And then I had another daughter, and she was born perfectly normal, typical, wonderful young lady, and she became a very gifted child. It was became, I said, because when they're 2 weeks old and just beginning, you don't know this, but as she evolved, she was speaking at 9 months, and she was showing all of those signs of being incredibly gifted, and sure enough, she was an incredibly gifted child with all of the challenges that sometimes come with being gifted. So now I had a child who had some recognized, quote, special needs on the side of a lot of interventions that needed to take place, and also a child who everyone felt, well, she's gifted, so just let her go. Well, that's not true either. Gifted children come with a hypersensitive system. They take in a lot of information. They learn things very quickly, so that they really don't understand and learn how to learn and how to be frustrated. So they look kind of, if their needs aren't addressed, they look like they think a lot of themselves and that they're easily frustrated, but it's because of the process that they go through in learning. So it's a very individualized process for every single child. So I guess what I learned from my two very, very different children was that each child has a unique learning style. Each child needs to be taught according to their how they learn best in order to get the optimum learning happening. And this includes typical children. It includes all children of all walks of life, all color, all nationality, all religions, all learning differences or styles. So they were probably the biggest teachers in my life.